obviously looking for some answers, wondering if Mike Babcock provided any. The big one, obviously, is no Morgan Rielly at skate today. What was the news there?
Babcock said that he will be available tomorrow against San Jose, but on the follow-up as to whether Rielly is dealing with something or because this is the second straight practice that he's missed, Babcock had one of those wry Babcock smiles and said, I asked Rielly if he was just taking another day to himself today, made a joke and then said, no, Rielly wants to be practicing, wants to be playing, but he will be available tomorrow. So it just sounds like maybe there's something lingering there for him right now that he's battling through, and so they're just giving him some extra time off the ice. But as far as we know, he will be good to go tomorrow.
Okay, so then don't read too much into Dermot being on that line with Cece. Did he give an update on Travis Dermot, who is eligible to come off IR this weekend?
Nothing yet on Dermot. When we ask Mike about it, it's always, they're just waiting for their get-out-of-jail-free card from the trainers and the staff, and that he's waiting to hear when Dermot and Hyman are going to be available to come back as well. So it's pretty tough to get anything concrete out of Mike until there is a concrete timeline for him from the trainers. So it sounds like he's still waiting for the green lights and when he'll be able to really work Dermot back into a spot, because certainly I at this point, we haven't had anything concrete from him other than that 12 to 14 game timeline that Babcock gave us before training camp started.
We saw Mark Masters also tweeting out that Mitch Marner was involved in a collision. I couldn't quite tell who it was with, but we know he left the ice. Was there any update on him?
Yeah, so it looked like Marner and Jake Muzzin just kind of collided awkwardly during the final drill at practice, and Marner was bent over on his stick for a while. Guys were checking on him to see if he was okay. And then usually Marner stays out after practice to do some shooting, but he went straight to the dressing room this time, obviously to get checked out. But Marner came out and he spoke and said that he's feeling fine, that he should be just fine for tomorrow. But it seemed like it was just how awkward the collision was. He wasn't expecting it, so I think it just took him by surprise, took the wind out of him a little bit. But it doesn't seem like he's injured at all, and all seems to be well there.
So he's not out for 3 weeks.
No.
You know how it works here, Kristen, right?
Kristen, I was prepared to burn the building down.
There's a report. Now it's like, oh, boy, okay, call in the fire department. Here we go. Big problems.
Oh, no. He's quite looking forward to facing Patrick Marleau tomorrow, and says he'll be talking to him a lot on the ice. So knowing those two, I'm sure it'll be an enjoyable battle.
Did Mitch or Austin talk about Patrick at all?
Yeah, they both touched on him and just how important he's been, obviously, in their development as young players. Not just, I think, on the ice, but also off of it. Matthew said about his demeanor and just the way that he carries himself, the type of person that he is really what you take away most from your relationship with him, is that he just manages to be so calm and so polite and so good, really, to everyone he comes in contact with. And that's something as young players who are obviously under so much pressure and not just on the ice, but how to conduct themselves off it. That's really what both of them said that they've taken away from him, is just to be that kind of high character individual. And you see what Marleau's been able to do, the longevity of his career. Obviously, both Matthews and Marner are envious of that and would like to replicate it in their own careers. But you can see the work that he puts in and how much time and effort it takes to be able to play more than 20 years in the NHL. So the impact, I think, is huge, and it's ongoing. Matthews was joking that he's going to try to FaceTime Marleau later after the game, that the Sharks are playing in Montreal, maybe just try to get a little bit of FaceTime with him before the game tomorrow, and maybe make a couple of jokes there as well. So obviously they've really maintained those close friendships.
Has anyone asked Mitch Marner about the Patrick Marleau quote? If you know, where he basically was asked about waiving, his no trade to move to free up some money to sign Mitch Marner, and Patrick Marleau said, obviously didn't even think twice about doing it for a guy like Mitch. Good kid to do it for. I'm just wondering if anyone asked Marner, basically how Marleau was like, yeah, I'm going to leave so this guy can get paid.
I wasn't in the scrum where he was asked that. I haven't heard his reaction to that, but I think that just goes to show, obviously, how much Marner also means to Marleau. And you can just tell from the way that Marner spoke about Marleau today that, it's tough, obviously, not having him here now. I think he was someone that Marner especially really relied on and looked to. So I'm sure that when he heard that, I would imagine it was, kind of heartwarming for him in a way, and this goes back to what Marleau said last year about how he hopes that what Marner always remembers is just how good he is and how good a player that he is. So that's I didn't hear him actually respond directly to that, but just the way that Marner spoke about Marleau today, you can just tell obviously what his support has meant to Marner over the years.
So quickly, we know John Tavares skated. What update did he give?
He said he hasn't gotten another scan done on his finger yet, so he can't really give an updated recovery timeline, but said he should know more in the next couple of days. And this, what he's tried to focus on in terms of the positives right now is that he can still do everything that he wants to do on the ice, except really stick handle with the puck and really shoot a puck. He's been using lighter pucks in the drills that he's been doing with Barb Underhill and Darryl Belfry, but he's really been able to focus on the skill building that goes to the wayside during the season because you're so busy with practice and things like that. So that's the positive that he's taking. And he's been out there, every day that we've been around. He's really working hard to stay on top of his fitness and on top of all of his skills so that, like he said today, as soon as he gets the all clear, he can step right back in and not miss a beat because obviously he knows how to shoot a puck. He's not going to lose that ability in the next couple of weeks. But he said he will probably know more about when he'll be back, hopefully within the next couple of days.
Kristen, appreciate the update. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, guys.